Hello there, my name is Behshad Alihari, and today I'm going to present Project 3 and 4, also known as card game for CS210. So this project is a two-player game, and basically what we are creating is a card game which has two players, and each player has 5 cards, and there are 3 cards on the table. So I'm going to briefly explain what I did. So for this project I created multiple files, and the first file that I created is called cards.java. This file consists of a code that will load our cards. So I have created a cards folder inside my folder for this project, which contains all of the cards for our game. And in order to load those pictures, I created this file and I wrote these codes. What it basically does, for example, is that we are adding these cards. I've created multiple string names, so spades, hearts, clubs, and diamonds, and I am importing all of them. And in order to print them, I put the name, the number of the specific type of the card. And over here is for Jack, Queen, and King cards, and also Ace, because there are more than 10. So I had to create a separate file, a separate version for them to print them. This is basically what this part does. Next, I created a deck file, which is player's deck, which means that what cards do they have in their deck is shown here. I imported a Java util random so that it will randomly give the players cards. I also created a string which is for draw. So if cards are empty, it will return null, and the cards have to be randomized. Also, I created a shuffle which also will get our cards and it will change the size. This is my main Java. It basically isn't anything important. It is just the frame size and my panel and the title for the game, which is card game. The main code is written in mypanel.java, which is everything that is happening inside here. So what I did, I imported some action listeners and action events. So the game uses the game mechanic. Also created an array list, and if we move forward, we can see that I am inheriting JPanel, which is going to implement action listener. I created these private classes, and I will explain what are they. So over here I have basically explained everything. This is for our deck, which is a new deck, a player, a new player, image icon, and this is basically where it's getting the source for our pictures. Again, I said it's in my cards folder, so it's going to take them from there. We have the player 1 and player 2 text. This is for our hands point, which shows the current score that the player has. This is for the button that changes the cards, and these are the location of cards for each player. So P1 C5 is player 1 card 5, or P2 C4 is player 2 card 4. And these middle card PNGs are for the middle of the table, which is on the table. Over here I put a color for my background. Then I created the bounds for the cards, so how much is their size for each player. And this is also the size for the cards on the table. Over here I created an array list and the name of all of the cards that I have and all the types that there is. and in this string suit it is going to get the pictures, the path for the pictures, and it's going to show them. I also created this setup UI, which is basically going to add everything that we explained in the upper part of the code. You're going to add them here, and this is what the main methods are happening. This is for the middle cards, this is for the player 1 cards and player 2 cards. It's basically taking off the cards, the 5 cards that each player has. Then we created an add action listener for them so that we can implement the game mechanics. Over here I'm also showing the hand points for each player. Then this is going to get update our cards. So for example, I'm showing the index of player 1 cards. It's going to take the index and show it on the screen. This is for the set icon back, which shows the pictures that are on the cards that are on the deck and their back is up. And reveal middle cards is going to show them. So when it's second player's turn, the pictures will show and reveal themselves. This is also the turns, so when player 1 is playing, every card is visible, and when player 2 is playing, every card is visible. Now this is reversed, so when player 1 is visible, player 2 is not. As you can see here, it's false, and it's not going to show. If it's true, it's going to be back. If it's true, it's not going to show. If it's false, it's going to show. That's exactly what I did here. Then this is for our turn winner, which will show who is the winner of the game. And I also made a message dialog which says that, for example, player 1 has won this round, and it will print the total score of player 1. It also does the same thing for player 2. For a tie, which means that both players had the same score, we also have an implementation for that. Over here we have the winner, which shows who won the game. And here is the reset game, which after a round is finished, a new round is started, and everything will go back to 0 and will be clear. And player 1 and player 2 return to 0, and everything has to start the game. We also have a message dialog that says that the new game has started. And this also have to reset all of the cards that players had, so all of them would be false. This is for our action and override, and what this basically does is that it's going to change the pictures of the players, so that when we click the change button, it will change the cards. And I did that for both players, and then after the cards are changed, it will show the hand points for each player again. And that was for player 1. This is for player 2. It's basically the same thing. We also create an array list for the collected selected indexes, which every card that we have, if it's selected, it will show the index of that card. And this is for our error selection, which will show the error. So I created this myself. It basically what it does is that if the player chose more than 3 cards to change, it will give an error and it doesn't work. So we can only change 3 cards. And this is also for replace cards. It's a boolean that for player 1 it will change the cards, the deck cards. I also created another file here which is called player Java. This is for each player and every component that each player has. So it has the score and the deck and the cards, the middle cards. I basically explained everything into every player, so that they have these cards, they have this score. It's going to calculate the cards. This is for calculating the scores, so based on what the game wants from us, the logic that we need, it's going to be happening here. Also for Jack, Queen, and King and Ace, I had to create a new score for them for here, because we need to change the score for them, because for example Jack is 11 or Queen is 12, King is 13 or Ace is 14, and it will return this score back. This is for multi cards. So for example, if this card is another, there's like two types of one card, it will calculate both of them. As you can see, I wrote all of that here. It's going to increase the number count, and each time the number count goes up, it basically increases the point. This is for all of the cards applied. And for example, if the number count is 4, what it does is that it's going to multiply it by 4. If it's 3, it's going to multiply by 3. If it's 2, multiply by 2. I created a unique for 0, so if it's unique, just increase unique. And if unique is more or equal to 5, it has to multiply by 5, which is the maximum that we can multiply in this game. And over here is the cards, the correct cards. So when all of that implementations are applied, it will show these cards instead. Now I'm going to run the game. So as we can see, I have created this game. We have 80 points for player 1, and this is my cards. And as you can see, this is the table cards which are hidden. Also player 2's cards are not shown. So for example, I want to change this card and this card. As you can see, my point is changed to 90, but I can't see my cards anymore, so it's player 2's. So player 2 is playing, they have 60 points, they can for example change this and this. Now I won because I had a more higher score. Okay, so now I can change my cards again. I'm gonna change this and this. This is our table cards which are now shown. So my score is now 34. Over here, player is going to change this and this. Now player 2 had more cards than me, more score than me, so he won. Now if I try to select more than 3 cards, I will get an error. Wait, it has to be more than 3. As you can see, only 3 cards can be selected. For example, if I do this and this and this, I get a 37. As you can see, it works like this. Right, change the 8 and because we have 2 8s, let's take 10 and 5. And let's change this. Let's see. If I change this and this, maybe, and we can change this. Player 2 has won the game. And now a new game has started because the rounds have finished. So thank you for watching. This is the code that I created, the game that I created. Sorry if my explanation was a bit weak. My English is not very good and my voice is a bit bad today. I'm a little sick. Thank you for watching. I will provide this code inside LMS. Every source code is going to be available. Thank you for watching and goodbye.